Hello and welcome to another day in paradise and welcome to another edition of the Unapologetic Negropian. In today's video, do you remember this?
Guys, this is the comment that I want to speak about.
Some of these African Americans are as broke as our brothers and sisters on the continent.
European did a video about me being arrested for Shauntae White's burglary, and that just didn't happen.
I'm in a safe place. Me, Max, and Stella are safe, and we are still enjoying the Gambia.
If you turn your back on your mother, don't ask me for no help. Shauntae, which right now I'm going to be very quiet about what she asked me to do, but Shauntae asked me to do something that was illegal.
I didn't want to say this, but you could tell by the way she talks, by what she's saying, by the way she's dressed, by her hair, by her body language, everything. It doesn't look right.
Yeah, believe it or not, it's been over a year since I made this video, and this was essentially me talking about what was happening in the Gambia in regards to the case brought before the law courts between the plaintiff Shauntae White against the defendant Kwesiboyd. Yes, two African American giants of the repat community in the Gambia who went to court to settle the differences, the disputes between the money Shauntae White had given to Kwesiboyd in order to help a few houses over there to make them habitable, and had this gift that she had given to the organization thrown back in her face by Kwesiboyd when things went to pot. Now subsequently, since that time, not a lot has gone on, nothing that we could see anyway, but there has been things happening behind closed doors, and this all culminated in a court hearing only a few days ago where things seem to be going wrong for Kwesiboyd. So what is happening in the Gambia at this present moment? How is Shauntae White seemingly winning this battle to find justice in a foreign country with no one there to support her, to back her? She did this all by herself. How has she managed to get to this point? Well, we're going to try and answer all these questions today. But like always, I'm going to ask you to please like, subscribe, share, click the bell notification, and please consider supporting the channel on our Patreon, link in the description. I'd also like you to please follow the Oversight channel, the channel that is there to help you to invest on the African continent, both safely and securely. Link also in the description. So I think we need to give ourselves a little bit of a refresher since it's been so long since we've heard from these two. I think it's important that for context we take a look at what happened last year, because there were some fireworks. So we all know that Shauntae came over pretty much a couple of weeks apart from another African American by the name of Phoenix Rain. They came over when they were invited to come over by Kwesiboyd and his sidekick Kathy. But when they got there and they took a look at the books, they could see that there was a lot of dodgy practices going on within the company. They also found out that there were a lot of people, a lot of African American repats who were going to be laden with many problems by Kwesiboyd and Kathy if they'd ever show up on the shores of the Gambia without taking a look at where they were going to be living in the first place. And so Shauntae White and Phoenix Rain devised a plan to expose Kwesiboyd and Kathy. A war of words and exchange came to fruition between the two parties. Shauntae White and Phoenix Rain could not see eye to eye, and they both went their separate ways. Kathy moved back to the United States and laid all the blame on Kwesiboyd. Phoenix Rain seemed to tone it down and continued going about her business. She saw it as a losing fight against Kwesiboyd, and she managed to settle down in the Gambia. She has a man and she's feeling good and she's doing well. However, Shauntae White was not finished with Kwesiboyd, and she vowed vengeance upon Kwesiboyd and Kathy. In the heat of things, people can say things like this. People can always vow vengeance. People can always say they're going to get a certain person. But seldom does that person ever continue and follow through with what they were going to do. It seemed as though Shauntay White was going to do exactly that. She put in papers in order to sue Kwesi Boyd for the money that she had given him initially to help his fledgling company. Once again, there was a lot of exchange of words. Shauntay White didn't seem to be in danger. That was until August of last year.
Look at this. Fucking look at this. Look at this. It fucking came in. My laptop. It took my hard drive.
So Shauntay White had a breaking, and there was a whole lot of hoopla about who had executed this burglary. Of course, at the time, she had a very good inkling of who it could be. I'm not going to say the name just in case I incriminate her, but she had a very good inkling of who it was. Kwesi Boyd came out and he said that he was completely innocent of any wrongdoing. Kwesi Boyd was later arrested only a few weeks after this breaking. He was charged and then put on bail. A subsequent hearing after that, it has culminated in a hearing which only happened a few days ago, which I know about because it came out in the Gambian Standard newspaper in an article written by the journalist Bruce Asamota. And it reads, a High Court in Banjul has placed a $2 million bail as security on one Kwesi Boyd, an American businessman and CNO of Invest Relocate Africa in the Gambia. The court order came in a ruling in the civil matter between Boyd and one Shauntay White, a philanthropist, the plaintiff in the case. Shauntay White is claiming the sum of nearly $2 million as damages for defamation of character, $390,000 for the rent due to the defendant's breach of contract, emotional and psychological stress caused by the defendant. The High Court, in its ruling, ordered that the defendant be admitted to bail in the sum of $2 million, and the defendant should provide 2 Gambian sureties who do not have nationality of another country to dispose to an affidavit of means in the like sum. So what does that mean? I think that last part is quite telling. So what's really interesting is the actual bail conditions themselves. Okay, so $2 million is somewhere in the region of £35,000, which is 36,500 euros, which is around $38,000. Now, does Kwesi Boyd have $38,000? I'm not sure whether he has $38,000 or not. One thing that I am questioning though is whether Kwesi Boyd has the other part of this bail conditions, whether he can meet the other part of the bail conditions, the 2 sureties. That is 2 people that would have to put up all their belongings, their possessions, their house as collateral if Kwesi Boyd up sticks and runs away and does not come back to the Gambia. Who does he have? Well, he is married to a number of women there, but what do they have? That's another very good question. I'm not sure whether they actually know what they are getting themselves into. So if you are Kwesi Boyd's wife, if you're watching this, all I need to say is be extremely careful. You are now going to have to ask yourself whether or not Kwesi Boyd is a person that you can trust. You now have to ask yourself whether Kwesi Boyd is truly a person that you can trust, because if you can trust him, then fair enough, do whatever you need to do. If you cannot trust a person, then you should not sign any court documents to say that your house will be taken away from you if Kwesi Boyd does not return to court. If he loves you, if you're his wife, he will love you, and he will tell you this anyway. You know, guys, I've said a lot of things about Shauntay White, but most of the things that I've said about her is the way that she's been steadfast and resilient, how she has not broken. Yes, there was a point when she got broken into that she said that she was going to leave the Gambia and never come back. But look at what she did. She went back to America. She gathered all of her mind back together again, came back. She walked back into the fire, and now she is firing on all cylinders. She's going after Kwesi Boyd, and now Kwesi Boyd, well, did he make bail? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section if you know any better. Let's face it, if kwesiboyd does not pay up, if somehow he is unable to get 2 sureties, if somehow he doesn't have 40,000 or so dollars, then he will be making his way down to the 2 Mile Hotel. I don't think that is a hotel anybody would want to be in, especially at any time of the year, but especially, you know, the beginning of September, the end of August in West Africa. It is the worst place that you could possibly think of. I haven't been inside there, but I've watched documentaries about it. The fact that they're making documentaries about this prison, well, that should tell you a lot, right? Around 2 o'clock in the morning, Swiss time, SHAUNTAY will be doing a live. It will be interesting to see what she has to say about the developments in the Gambia. It will also be interesting to see whether or not kwesiboyd has made bail. It'll also be interesting to see what Shauntae White is looking to get out of this, because I'm not even sure whether kwesiboyd can afford to give her that money back. He will bankrupt himself if need be. Okay, this is how people normally do it. But I think that even if Shauntae White doesn't get any money out of it, she will be happy to say that she won. Okay, and they are both American. She can also speak to the authorities over in America. That's where kwesiboyd would have some real problems, because he cannot pay off the judges. He cannot pay off people in court over there in the United States. But there's a possibility that he can do that in the Gambia. That's unfortunately the way West African court system, legal systems are. Okay, you've got the money, you can pay to get yourself out of trouble. So it would be interesting to see what happens now in the next few weeks. Everyone was talking about how tough Art Caffey was, but really, the real tough one, the person who was as resilient as anyone can be, the woman who did not back down in the face of adversity, well, it's Shauntae White. Let's face it, there are many people who are watching this video right now that would not have continued to fight on if they would have also gone through what Shauntae White had gone through. Until the next time, please think twice. Ta-ra a bit.